Figured I'd record a moment. We're getting the kitchen together at the deli, and this is that sink that I found in the trash. I'm selling it to them. I had to make new gaskets for the drain, which basically just entailed me putting silicone caulk on there. None of these pipes here match, unfortunately. So, like, well, my friends who are opening the business keep buying the wrong things, and so I'm having to find all sorts of ways to, like, for instance, hook up a soap dispenser up to an ice maker outlet. I can maybe do it. And this sink, the tiniest 3-bay sink I've ever seen, they didn't look at the specs. And here's a good example of just how tiny it really is. So this is supposed to be out here. But, oh, whoops. Well, actually, that's good enough. Never mind. There we go. I couldn't get this to rotate. So this is how it's supposed to be, which yeah, this is meant for a normal size sink. And I figured out that I guess we can make it work by just putting it around like that. So this is constant stuff like this. I'm used to working with like name brand stuff. And so this is a bit of a challenge. Now thankfully I had a whole bunch of this gas line, so I was able, I'm connecting up the grills, because otherwise that would have been expensive. This freezer is actually that one that I got for $40. And, well, it was $50, but they took 10 off because I had a radio they liked, just a 1980s radio. And I have a video of converting this from R404A to R134A. I had to shorten the capillary tube. And it actually works. It gets down to like 10 degrees Fahrenheit, way below freezing. Just takes a while. The freezing load is lower than it would normally be with R404A. So, hooking this stuff up. I think my friend who owns the place ran out to get more things, because I charged $10 to go to the hardware store and get things, and they thought that was highway robbery, so they're going out and getting everything. And they usually bring back half of the right things. It's to be honest, it works out because it's a learning experience for them. And it was like 5 days in a row that they brought the wrong things. I was about to lose my mind during that part. But, yeah. I just figured I'd make a video before I start drilling in this wall, because a lot of little sinks, no big sink. They want a hand washing sink right here, but that's a little bit high. A little bit too much right here. I'm not really sure what this is going to be used for. Oh, and I recently realized, so I used a wire brush on the stainless steel. The wire brush actually left some of the steel on it, so it's why it's rusted up. I think I'm going to switch to using a nylon wheel, one of those spongy looking abrasive wheels. That'd probably be better for stainless steel to give that brushed look. And maybe I should start sealing any stainless steel that I restore. All the plumbing I've had to figure out just drives me up a wall. Doing the one back there, that one really drove me up a wall. There's I had to make shortcuts, but there was just certain things where I refused because I know if they had their plumber do it, that he just doesn't really care. And it would have been made out of probably 1-inch PVC the whole way. And it would have been really weird. There would have been no clean outs, no unions. With this, I'm like, okay, all this stuff, I don't know if any of it's gonna like work for a kitchen. So I've made it to where there's unions basically between every single thing. So we have a union there, and then a union there. I've never seen such a cheap grease trap. It's like just a stainless steel toolbox. But I'm used to ones that are plastic, that have like a reinforced top and reinforced sides. So we'll see how that goes. I recently had issues. I got all the refrigerators working here, by the way. They're all working. Mostly have electrical issues. That can be maybe a video for another day, but this one, the thermal protection kept overloading. And I realized that the company that made this compressor didn't know how compressor ratings are. So they say it's a 1/4 horsepower compressor, yet it takes 600 watts on the spec sheet. And, well, that's like a 1/4 horsepower AC motor. But if I understand right, 1/4 horsepower compressors move like a 1/4 horsepower of BTUs, not how much power they use. So they're rated for 250 watts or 300 watts, not 500 or 600 watts. And so the original one, apparently, this thing had been running for 15 years, where it would just run until the bimetallic overload protector flipped. And it ran so much doing that every single cycle, because the compressor is really big and it's way bigger than that thing needs to be. So even with that, it was able to refrigerate. It did that so much, it split the overload protector down the middle. Then we bought a 1/4 horsepower overload protector for it because I thought, well, it should be a replacement. And the newer one's rated for lower current, so it really trips super fast, like within about 20 seconds. And I think the thing that really did it in was this thing sometimes goes up to like 18 amps for 1 or 2 seconds before the compressor kicks in. So it might have a rough winding, but either way, the on the spec sheet, this compressor is a really rare one that's only sold for 240 volt, 220 volt. But for some reason, this one has a 120 volt winding. Couldn't really find it. I found one spec sheet that said it does take about 500 or 600 watts. And it is taking that exact amount. It's just that the startup is a little bit higher current than you might want. Or maybe it actually fits with 1/2 horsepower, but it's more like a 1/2 horsepower motor, or a compressor, with a 1/4 horsepower electrical motor in it. So I swapped it out for a 1/2 horsepower thermal protector, and now it works. So that makes me feel better. But I'm also like, well, this is weird that it would have a compressor that is so rare in that configuration. And it's so rare that they didn't know how the horsepower rating was, so they put the wrong thermal protector on it. It feels like, surely that's not really an issue, because when you first start getting into repairing things, you know, you tend to see things that don't seem to make much sense. And then later on you realize, oh, I was just a stupid novice. But with this one, it takes, like what, 5.5 amps, 5 amps during it? No, 4.89 amps when it runs, I think. It's been like a week or so. Something along those lines. And that's definitely more than 250 watts. Well, I guess I'm going to do my drilling. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Look at my restaurant hell. And thank you very much for watching. See ya.